Well, it is the top of the hour. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning, AJ.
Allow me to share my screen here, get us started. So welcome again, RCAS. I don't know if
Great
this is
photo.
technically my last meeting since next week is top 10% and the following week is debunking. So
What debunking?
I don't know how that's going to work out.
It's Zoom debunk, right? If it happens, I know.
But welcome. So Sharon, thank you, special guest. I appreciate you stopping by. Just wanted to offer you a welcome. I'm going to go around the faces here and see if I can't find some additional special guests. Looks like Alex joining us from Toulouse. Thank you. Welcome. And Izzy, of course, from Vienna or from the lake. It's not a virtual background. That is it looks like what looks like a beautiful day out there. And looks like Carly was able to join us, or she's in the process of joining us. Thank you, Carly, visiting Rotarian. Good morning. And Barbara, I see you there. I think you've joined us via audio, but thank you for joining us. And the list continues to grow, but I'm not seeing any additional special guests other than the one here present with me, Miss Amy Chester. She's my special guest this morning.
Hi, Amy.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks again. Starting with the raffle, I'm going to re-explain the red to blue badge for those of you who haven't joined us in a while. We've kind of modified the Sergeant at Arms process, so we've named an individual in particular to take roles. So she's going to go on, get an idea of who's attending the meetings, and then at the end of the meeting, do a little, or during the meeting, check in with a few of you folks to get a feel for what committees are out there, and give us a little rundown at the end. Let us know what they've learned and what we have going on in the near. Stephanie, let me turn it over to you to explain the raffle.
Great. Good morning, everyone. This
morning.
raffle today is huge. I don't know if it's a record, how big the raffle has gotten in the past, but it's up to $140 this morning. I just threw up the Venmo handle in the chat. If you haven't done Venmo raffle tickets yet, you can do $5 for your chance to win. And as you can see, there's a couple of gift certificates that you can get as well. One to the Griffin, one to Hellsport, and one to Kinetic Coffee. So it's pretty easy. You can either scan that QR code and go right to it, or go ahead and go to Venmo and submit your $5. So I'm going to do that right now.
Me too. Thank you. So huge prize. I think our lucky winner or lucky pick last week. Let's see if I remember correctly. That was Jennifer. But yeah, a huge chance to win some good money there. I put out an invite to North Bay Rotaract because we'd like to see them join us week over week. So I'm not sure if any of them had a chance to join this morning, but if you do see them show up, please chat them up and welcome them to our meetings. They aren't able to currently meet during the COVID-19 or during the pandemic, so we'd like to welcome them into our club so that they can continue to engage and be part of the community, and it'd be great to see this club continue year over year. So I don't believe Tomas was able to join us this morning. He said he is actually taking a driving test and he might show up late, so I might come back to him. But Alex, thank you for joining us. Lori let me know that you were going to perhaps give us an update on what's going on with you. I can unmute you if you like. Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Yes, sure. So I was an exchange student 5 years ago, I think. Yeah, it was 5 years ago. And now I'm studying in Toulouse. So I'm studying to become an engineer, and so I would have sorry, my English is quite bad. So I will become an engineer in 1 year, and also I will have a master in management. So in 2 years, I will have my second master. So that's pretty much what happened in my life. I've pretty much studied during 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Alex, your English is very good.
Thank you.
So Alex, I guess that was prior to me joining. But do we have any other members that have questions for Alex?
Alex, what's the COVID-19 pandemic look like in Toulouse?
In Toulouse is not that bad, so we don't have a lot of cases in Toulouse. Most of the cases in France are in Paris. So in Toulouse we're quite safe, but we need to be careful because we don't know like who has COVID-19. So we need to be careful. But most of the people are wearing masks to protect themselves, and some people just don't care and just do nothing. But I think that is quite the same in every place.
Mm-hmm.
Did your classes continue to meet face to face, or did you have to continue your classes on the computer?
No, we had classes on the computer, so all the classes was canceled until September. So yeah, so it's quite hard to study on the computer, but it's okay.
What sort of engineering are you studying?
So my school, we're studying, it's very general what we're studying, but my school is specialized on aeronautic and space.
Thanks.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to stop in anytime you'd like and offer us an update. It's really good to see you.
Okay.
So next up we have Izzy. Izzy, I'm glad you sent me some photos because this is the only one I really have of you. But visiting from Austria, how are you?
Yes, hi. I'm at the lake right now. I'm gonna show you. It's very beautiful with the mountains in the background. And yes, I just graduated from high school like a week ago, and I'm going to start law. In Vienna to study law next year. And yes, I finished high school the 2 years after coming back from the US, and I joined the Interact Club in Vienna. And yeah, I'm the co-president now. And yes, I'm excited to come back to the US and see you guys in person, hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully very soon. I'm showing some photos in the background. I'm not sure if there are anyone in particular that you'd like to hone in on. This is an amazing photo.
Yeah, the photo on the right is from the Oktoberfest, as you can see from our, this is, I'm not married. This is this is just me debuting at one of the biggest Viennese balls. Yeah. And all the girls wear white dresses and the guys black suits, and then we perform a choreography. Yeah, that's a thing that I've been doing a lot lately. It's usual for kids in Austria to go to dancing schools and then to debutate on balls. Yeah, here are some pictures from the exchange weekends and the Rotex weekends. Yeah.
We miss you, Izzy.
Hi,
You can
Steve.
come stay with us anytime.
Yes, I'd love to very soon. It's kind
Well,
of hard right now.
Kind of hard right now, yes. You could come and you could go to Humboldt State University if you wanted. You could live with us.
Yes, I could.
Anybody have questions for Izzy? Well, it's really great.
Hey, Izzy.
Hi, Dustin. Hey.
It is really great seeing you, and I appreciate the photos to give us some insight. Please, anytime, feel free to drop by and say hello. Every Friday morning, I think 4 in the afternoon for you.
Yeah.
Nice little break. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you.
So, some recognition. We have quite a few birthdays to try to hit up here. I didn't see Julie with us this morning, and I'm not sure. I see Tamara out there, and I think Bryn wasn't able to join us. But let's see, Bob, are you out there? Saying happy birthday last round. And how about Scott? Did you get a chance to join us? There you are. So happy belated birthday. Did you do anything special?
Yeah, I went golfing for the first time in a long time, and my game is not good. It is bad. It is very bad. I lost a lot of balls, but it was fun.
Right on.
Yeah.
And Crystal, how was your birthday? Or Charlie? You're on mute.
Myself. So I didn't actually do anything on my actual birthday, which felt wonderful, I have to say. Like every year I've kind of done a big thing. So this year I just like hung out and like watched TV and cleaned my house, and I was so happy. It was ridiculous. I was like, man, I'm not gonna celebrate my birthday ever again.
Nice. Nice and relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Foster, did you join us? How was your birthday? Or it's coming up?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it is tomorrow. So I'll tell you when it's over. Tomorrow's the big double nickels.
Oh, wow. Nice. So yeah, these next few are in the future. Mr. Richmond, I'm seeing you out there. Taylor, and then Lisa and Carol share a birthday. I'm doing these all now because I'm not going to get a chance to do it next month. And then Janice celebrates a birthday month typically. Not sure if she got a chance to join us. I see you, Craig. And then Bob Moore. Haven't seen him in a while, but Jesse, thanks for joining us. Well, Dick, if you're out there, since this is the last one, let's just, I guess, celebrate and sing a last round of Happy Birthday here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
Yay.
You gotta love that lag.
I did everyone a favor and kept my mic on mute, but still sang.
Yep.
Why do people sound so good on TV when you see them all singing together? It's obviously fake.
So I did get a Peninsula School Union update. Looks like we got a ton of tools, and Karen was able to deliver. Sad that we can't be there to celebrate with them at the moment, but we'll finish this up at some point and be able to get in the dirt with those kids there and help them with their garden. So Karen, I don't know if you have an update for us. Nope. Okay. Well, thank you for the photos, and there's more to come there. So some events coming up. So the good thing about this whole Zoom and virtual meeting, I know this was a summit that took place actually last weekend, but they do let you, there's a link to reenact the whole summit. So Carol had sent me this ahead of time, and I didn't get a chance to get it into the program, but there were some interesting speakers, Senator McGuire, some of our local experts. So check out their website, and you can, I don't know if anyone out there got a chance to take part in the summit, has anything to share, but Carol had said that this is something we support year over year, so thought I'd make you aware and give you a chance to check it out. So this is coming up, the Backyard Bazaar. I think as things are feeling a little less ominous, you can kind of look for these opportunities to re-engage the community. Humboldt Makers with one of our favorite musicians, Michael David, will be there, and it is tomorrow, Gregg's birthday. And you can get a chance to look at some local wares, bring your mask, social distance, some dogs, but it should be an interesting event. And then Paddle Out for Peace on Sunday. So in support of racial injustice in memory of Black and brown people killed at the hands of police. An event to show your solidarity and help raise some funds.
Usually their fundraisers go to stewardship of the oceans and beaches, and this time they asked to bring money to support Black Lives Matter, Black Humboldt, Eureka, NAACP, NCIDC, and Black Girls Surf. So this is going to be a pretty exciting event. I hope to make it out there. You can bring your paddleboard, surfboard, kayak.
Thank you, Crystal. So the Oyster Fest is right around the corner, and Siva has asked for a little help. So I'm not sure if you got the Sign Up Genius invite, but please take a look. We just need a handful of folks to help deliver from tent to vehicle these packages that people will prepay for, pre-order for, and then select a designated time to come and pick up. So it should be very orderly to allow for social distancing and safe practices. Thank you to Stephanie and Romy for quickly jumping on and signing up. I appreciate that. 18 total slots to fill. If you feel comfortable, please come out and help at the Tri-Counties Bank the 17th, 18th, and 19th preceding the event. So look for that in your email. And Maggie, you have another opportunity for us at the community garden at Open Door.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thank you, AJ. I am stopping by the garden this morning after our meeting to talk to the people who are tending that right now. They don't have a lot of volunteers helping out, and they're looking for people who might be interested in doing some work there to just kind of keep things going. They're turning it into more of a food forest, so they're planting trees, you know, with fruit and things like that, and they're still leaving some space for individuals to garden plots, but it just needs a little TLC, and as you all know, if you have gardens, you can't just do it once, you kind of have to keep at it. So I wanted to ask our you know, the community services committee felt that this could be a good project if people wanted to help out with it. So I'm kind of coming to you today and asking if people have interest, and we're not looking for a big group to go there one time. We're looking at it more as an opportunity for 1 or 2 or 3 of us to go at any particular time when they're when they need us to go and just spend an hour or two doing some gardening. So I wanted to put that out there before I went to them and said, yeah, we're going to help, to see if there was any likelihood of any interest in a not a heavy duty, go do a big job together, but more of an individual or a couple of people going and working. So I kind of wanted to get a sense from the club if there was interest for that before I told them there was. So I wanted to see what people thought about that today.
I'd be in.
And if there's no interest, it'd be good for everyone to say that. I know that a lot of the community service committee members aren't able themselves for whatever reason to do it, but it doesn't mean that there might not be other members who are interested. So I'm just putting that out.
If there is some interest, throw it in the chat, and then I'll send your name Maggie's way so we can help out, open door, and get some fresh fruit out there into the community. Thank you, Maggie. So also this month, we have the 2020 Rotary virtual convention. Dustin, I don't know if you have anything you'd like to share. I do have a message from our RI president, but I'll give you the floor for a moment if you have anything you'd like to update us with your breakout rooms, etc.
Yeah, just sign up for it and check it out and see how it is. This, everything was so difficult with Hawaii canceling and everything, and it just be, even if you can only make one session, please do go register and see if you can sit in on one of the general sessions or the breakouts, and just help support the international virtual convention this year. So it was kind of, everything got turned upside down. So this will be a good way to show support for it, because it wasn't easy to revamp. So.
Nice. And so with that, here's a message from Mr. Mark Maloney here.
Aloha, Rotary. I am Mark Maloney, the president of Rotary International for 2019-2020. Now more than ever, Rotary connects the world. The 2020 Rotary Virtual Convention, to be held on June 20 to 26, will connect you online with members from around the world. Together, we will celebrate the spirit of Rotary and Aloha. Witness the power of connection during our general sessions. Discover inventive ways to engage and adapt at our breakout sessions. Explore thought-provoking topics and learn skills to strengthen your club. And find inspiration through global speakers. Our first ever virtual convention is free and open to all members and participants of the Rotary family. I encourage you to invite a friend or share our event with your club and community. Learn more and sign up at riconvention.org. I hope to see you online. Mahalo.
Oh, I want to do that again.
AJ?
Yes?
Can I just say, this is a rare opportunity for all of us to be able to participate in the international convention, given that there's not the travel barriers and to some degree fewer of the time barriers. So I would encourage everybody to sign up and attend what parts of it you can. Again, it's a unique opportunity. It may not happen again.
I agree, Dick. It is a unique opportunity to. I had plans to go to Hawaii and join Dustin there, but it's great to be able to have your choice and to be able to do it from the comfort of your home with those breakout sessions or those special speakers. So yes, please, if you have the time that week, check it out. You should have an invite in your email to allow you to register for the event. That way you can also partake and choose the sessions you want to attend. So please look for that in your inbox. I think I stopped sharing, but so coming back, Crystal, I'll turn it over to you to introduce our program this morning.
Awesome. Sorry, my voice is not working quite yet. So today we have Sharon Blank, and she's worked in early intervention for 15 years and currently works at HCOE as a special day class infant teacher. She works with 1.5 to 3-year-olds with autism or speech and learning impairments, and she works both in the classroom and in parent education. Sharon's family moved here from Reno, Nevada 5 years ago, and while in Reno, her husband, who is both white and Jewish, served as the legal redress chair for their local NAACP. Jeff Blank also served as the first white president of the NAACP's Reno Sparks chapter. Sharon and her family joined our Humboldt County community and have been a part of Eureka NAACP for the past 5 years. She and her husband are raising 2 Black sons, ages 20 and 22, and that is the reason why they have been active members of NAACP. Sharon Blank is now serving our community as our local chapter's president. So please welcome Sharon Blank.
Thank you. Hello. So yes, I'm going to talk a little bit. And how much time do I have, Crystal?
Generally 20 minutes, and then we leave 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you. That's what I needed to know. Thank you, friend. Yeah, so yes, I am the president of the Eureka NAACP. That was not my goal. When we moved here, we were very involved in the Reno branch. So when we moved here, we joined the Eureka branch, and at the time, the incoming president asked us to be part of the executive committee, so we did that. And then we went through a series of changes, unexpected changes with the NAACP. Our first president had some health issues and didn't continue in that role, and then we had a new president, probably for about 4 or 5 months, and then she had family commitments out of state and she left, and I stepped up because I didn't want to see us lose the momentum that we had gained with the leadership of those 2 women. So, you know, I think my story is very much reflective of the times we're in. I think part of how we've gotten here as a country, and I'm speaking of myself as well, is through apathy and not not stepping up, not stepping forward, not taking leadership roles because we're not enough, you know, fill in the blanks, instead of taking those opportunities and infusing them with the skills that we have and partnering and building teams and moving forward. So I very directly said 30 days before I accepted the interim presidency that I will not be president of the Eureka NAACP. And then I thought about it and came back 30 days later and said, I am definitely going to be president of the Eureka NAACP. So that seems to be part of my process. It's like, I am definitely not going to do that. Yes, I am definitely going to do that. For some reason, I need to definitely say no, and then I say yes, which is a personal issue. But it has been quite amazing, wonderful opportunity. My term ends in December, the end of December, and at that time I will have served for 2.5 years. And it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful experience. What else should I talk about? So I will talk a little more, and then I would actually like to open it up for questions, because I rather talk about the things you're interested in than things I think you're interested in. So part of the opening introduction was about our family. We are, I describe us as a Black and Jewish family, and our sons are men. Yeah, I can say that now without kind of pretty strange, but our sons are men now. And yeah, my husband joined the NAACP in his work in Reno because he had a Black wife, which opened up his world as far as being able to see and identify dynamics that he wasn't aware of before. And then specifically having Black sons really opened up both of us in a way that was very important. We're here because we want to make a difference for our children and also other children. I am an early interventionist. My title here is teacher because of the way early intervention is delivered here in California. However, my work is really with children birth to 3 with special needs within the family. And that's where my love is. I think the family of origin is the center of everything. So any way we can support and strengthen that is gonna only make us stronger. So what else do I wanna say? A lot of people have been asking me to talk and doing interviews and wanting me to team with them. And I really appreciate it. I had a conversation yesterday with one of our executive committee members about the opportunity that's here and how it would be good if people understood that this is not a short race. I think sometimes we can burn really hot and then move on. I think a certain number of us will do that with this time in history, and I think others will not. If it's important to you that we have systemic changes in this country in several areas, many areas, this is a wonderful opportunity. However, if anyone thinks this is going to all happen quickly and have a quality change and will not need vigilance in keeping our officials accountable to the people that they serve, yeah, so I think this is the beginning for some people of activism. I think it's important to acknowledge people that have been doing this forever, for decades and decades and decades. The NAACP was originally formed, part of why they were originally formed was to make it known to the general public that Black people were being lynched on a regular basis in this country. Yeah, so I think supporting organizations that have been doing this work, new and old. I mean, I think we're probably one of the oldest organizations in the county. However, there's an organization called Black Humboldt that is relatively new. I know one of the founders, and that is an excellent organization. I would support them in any way that you all can. They're part of what they do that is unique is they are an organization of people of color that do programming and events and support for people of color. So, which is also very important. I did not realize that there were actually people that thought you could not join the NAACP unless you were Black until I moved here and someone actually said that and I was like, really? Because if you're familiar with the history, actually the original grouping that formed the NAACP was not just Black. They weren't just Black people. There were white people. The Jewish community was very involved in civil rights. So yeah, so anyone can join the NAACP. Everyone can support the work that we do. We do center, obviously, around, well, maybe not so obviously, we do center around the needs of Black people in the community specifically, and people of color in the community in general. And one of our latest things that we've done is we had received some grant money the end of last year. And when everything got shut down because of the shelter in place order with COVID, the executive committee sat down and tried to figure out, well, what should we do? How should we respond? And what we decided was we focused on 4 parts of the community. We contacted the African American Center for Academic Excellence at HSU. Doug Smith is the director. We contacted CR, Dr. Kente Johnson. We contacted Alice Burney, which is the most ethnically diverse elementary school in the area. And we contacted Centro del Pueblo because they do excellent work. And that's part of our community as well. So we contacted those 4 groups and were able to purchase items like toiletries, donate money for food cards, donate masks, donate money for art supplies. One of the needs identified by the principal was specifically with the Black and Brown students was, now that everyone's at home and everyone's doing their work at home, well, in some homes they did not have art supplies. So there were certain things they couldn't participate in. So that was some, and they had food and they had these other needs covered. So that's where our money went in that group. With Centro del Pueblo, our funds went towards providing food for undocumented families because they are not receiving and have not received any assistance through the government. And they're part of our community. And these are families that our kids go to school with and we live next door to. So yeah, so that's what we chose to do to help support people in our community. So I'm going to stop talking. And if someone could moderate the chat, because the last time I did one of these, it was too much to read and watch and talk and read. So if someone can make sure I'm covering questions in the chat. Otherwise, I think we'll just be polite and speak up, because I can't see everyone in one swoop. So I think you're gonna have to speak up if you wanna ask a question. And all questions are fine. Don't feel like you need to censor yourself at all. I'm here because I wanna engage with people. So engage away.
So I'll moderate the chat, but I'll also start with the first question. Moving to Humboldt County and seeing the population, primarily white, and some people having like not only resistance to being like, can I join, or is that a thing? Is there also Black community who is resistant to having white members? Do you face that kind of issue here?
The way it looks is that our membership that shows up to meetings is predominantly white. And when I invite people of color to meetings or tell them about it, I let them know that, just so they're not kind of shocked and do the big eye thing when they walk in the room, just because I don't think that's a common thing among the NAACP. My experience has been it's usually Black, a lot of Black members, and usually older Black members. So I just let people know. And one of the things actually we were going to start focusing on literally when COVID hit was how to center Blackness within our space, because what was happening frequently is Black members of the community would come once and they wouldn't come again. And I think that's because we were not, I think that I was not helping to center Black voices within our group. So, yeah, and I've changed that. And I'm in the process of changing that.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what can individuals or us as a club, how can we help support Black Lives Matters movement? What do you think is one of the best ways, or a couple of the best ways is?
I think it could be done on several levels. You know, I think about individual relationships. That's kind of my thing. So I think the first thing that can be done, which anyone can do, is when you're moving through your life, make sure you smile and say hello to Black people that you come across, specifically Black men. You know, being a parent is a learning opportunity like no other. And our youngest, who was born very spicy and continues to be spicy, helped me address some of my narrowness. He, in high school, chose to wear the saggy pants and have a certain look. You know, the big shirts, the saggy pants, the hoodie where you couldn't find him. And it was interesting through that process, I realized that I was not acknowledging these men in my life that were dressing like my son. And I knew my son. And it's like, even though he presented in a certain way, I know my son. He's a lovely person. He's a really wonderful man. So, you know, it helped me bump into, oh, I have this preconception of, you know, Black men specifically that dress this way, you know, are a certain way. And it's like, that's not true. That's not true. They just dress that way. That's what it means. It's like someone with a master's degree, they did what they needed to do to get a master's degree. Doesn't mean they're that much smarter than you, just saying. That means they did what they did to get a master's degree. So it just helped me open my eyes. So I think the first thing is just to acknowledge people within your work community, acknowledge people in your day-to-day, just smile and say hello. Do not ask them their opinions on Black people stuff, because that is weird to have a stranger come do that. There are also really easy ways to contribute to the betterment of Black and Brown communities in this area. Central del Pueblo does amazing work. Get on their Facebook page or email or however, I know they're electronic, but get on their social media. They do amazing work in this community. The center that I told you about, the African American Center for Academic Excellence at HSU, Doug Smith is the director there. Call him up and ask him what they need. What does the center need? Is there something I can provide? Dr. Johnson at CR. I don't really remember what Dr. Johnson's title is. However, he does a lot at CR, and he really is present for the low-income students and students of color there. Call the principal at Alice Burney. Ask her what that school needs. See if they need volunteers to read. See if they need, you know, what do they need, and show up. You can go to a demonstration. I'm not really a demonstration kind of girl, because I see the purpose. People who have that need to do it, go and do it. It's just not my thing. My thing is engaging and sustain change. So that's where I use my skills. Become a member of the NAACP. We do a lot of great stuff in the community, and if you want to know what's going on and see how you can be involved, I also do a lot of sharing about community events. So I don't just share what we're doing, I also share what other people in the community are doing.
I really want to thank you for that story in the beginning about your son as well. I think that recognizing our own biases is a huge part of the work that we're all trying to do.
Yeah, I think along those lines, you know, especially learning something new is messy. And we need to find our comfort level with being messy and wrong and awkward if we're gonna make change, if we're gonna contribute to change. learning is just messy. It just is. I think, when I teach around these issues, I frequently use a feeling wheel, which you can Google, and it's just a circle, and in the center of the circle, it's got like the 5 or 6 emotions that you kind of learn in kindergarten, and then it keeps going out, out, out with different descriptors of emotions. And I think that's really helpful when learning about things like this, because I think it's really common for us to feel things we haven't felt before. And when we can name our feelings, it really changes our relationship to them. We can do something with them as opposed to them doing something to us when we can name it. Simply the act of naming it. So yeah, I think we need to get comfortable with being awkward and wrong if we're really going to put ourselves in different circles of people and learn. And the other thing is, I suggest to people, when you put yourself in these new circles of people, listen. Don't talk about how you can fix, don't talk about how you can help, don't talk about what they're doing wrong and this is better. Just listen. And if someone comes to you and says, you said this and it was rude or it was wrong, you let them finish talking and then you say thank you. And then you come back, because that was an opportunity to learn. Yeah. And most people will not do that for you. Most people will just go and walk away. So if someone takes the time to come to you and say, you know what, that was rude, or this is wrong, or maybe read this, just say thank you.
Yeah.
And come back.
You don't get to choose. You don't get to choose what offends people. So a couple questions about NAACP.
Yes.
What does being a member entail? Are you guys currently meeting online right now? And when are the regular meetings, I guess?
Yes. It's a $30 membership fee for the year. Our website is not up to date because I've locked myself out and they are not letting me back in. It's been like a nightmare. So with that, we have a Facebook page, Eureka NAACP. I'm putting information on there. Yes, we are meeting online through Zoom. If you are interested in being at the meeting, contact me at my email, which is Sharon B, SHARRONEB, SharonB@yahoo.com. Let me know if you want to join the meeting and I'll send you the link. Or you can text me, and my cell number is 775-338-1909. And I will, I think Crystal has all of that as well. She's welcome to share it. Just let me know you want to join the meeting and we'll do that. I don't know, might be a false sense of security. I don't want to just put our Zoom link out into the world, so I have people contact me first. It makes me feel better. So, yeah.
Thank you, Greg, for being our scribe.
One more. I'm sorry, Crystal, one more thing. So normally our meetings are the third Sunday of the month from 4:30 to 6, and I'm very respectful of people's time. We start on time and we end on time. However, the third Sunday is Father's Day, and that would be rude. So we're actually meeting this Sunday at 4:30 on Zoom. Okay, thank you, Crystal.
Absolutely. And then there was a question about the differences that you saw in the Reno community and then in our community, different issues or?
It's hard for me to say. You know, I've come to a lot of issues very late in life. I'm 55 years old, and we had babies later. And when I was in Reno, I was, you know, beginning my career and raising my babies. So I didn't look up much. I mean, I had my own experiences. I heard about other people's experiences, but the, you know, really being involved in things didn't happen until I moved here. And I think it was because, for me, it was because, you know, empty nest, the boys left, and all of a sudden there was all this space in my life. And fortunately, you know, I dropped into this amazing group of people, and fortunately I like people, so I'm always putting myself out there, and I've just had all these amazing learning opportunities. So it's hard for me to say that the places really were different because I was so different in each place. I didn't know where Humboldt County was when we first started looking at moving here. And then when we drove here for my husband's interview, I'm like, okay. So everything was new. I've never lived somewhere so rural. I did tell my husband this is the most rural I will live. And I could have never guessed I would have the life changing experiences that I've had here. I would have never guessed that this place would bring me so much growth and opportunity. So I'm very grateful. I can't hear you, Crystal.
Let me turn it off for a second. Is the NAAC involved in hosting the Juneteenth, and is there more information about that event?
Yes, we are Black Humboldt taking the lead. We're co-hosting, and actually this year I think there's 3 other groups co-hosting. If you Google Juneteenth Black Humboldt, you should be able to pull it up. It's on our Facebook page. It's on my personal Facebook page. It's on Black Humboldt's Facebook page. Mo, who's one of the co-founders, is facilitating. It's online. I have no idea how that's going to work, but Mo, this is what she does. So I'm sure it'll be wonderful. I have learned a lot from my younger friends on how to do things, and I'm like, how do you do that? And they just do it. It's amazing. So
historically, what has Juneteenth been? What is it exactly?
We did our first, oh, I see what you're saying. Juneteenth has to do with when Blacks found out that they were freed from slavery. They were no longer enslaved. So it's really the equivalent of 4th of July for some folks. It has to do with freedom. And that's another thing that I came to very late in life. I had heard about Juneteenth, but I didn't really know about it until much later in life. So, and with that, I guess I'm saying it's okay. You know, you start learning where you start learning, and beating ourselves up for not knowing or not knowing sooner or not doing it right is kind of a waste of time. So, you know, be kind with yourself and start where you are and just move forward. When you know better, do better.
Awesome message. Thank you. And I think we are kind of running towards the end. Is there anything else you want to share?
Yes, I have books. I am a book girl. Very good book, White Fragility. It's good to do in a group. We've done one teaching around it. We had a book group about it. We might do another one soon, we being the NAACP. It's good not to do all of this in isolation because we can just kind of reinforce our own thoughts when we do that. So this is an excellent book. This book is actually was an online workbook that was free for a very long time. And I'm very glad my friend stopped doing that and published it and now is getting money for it. This is actually structured as a workbook. So this would be something that you kind of work with on your own, but you probably could do it in a group as well. Just make sure you're putting yourself in different circles so you don't just reinforce your own concepts. So this is Me and White Supremacy. The other one was White Fragility. Another excellent book, The New Jim Crow. And it's by Michelle Alexander. It says mass incarceration in the age of colorblindness is part of what it says. Oh, a couple more things. Okay, I'm gonna move fast. Slavery by Another Name. Another excellent book, The Re-Enslavement of Black Americans from the Civil War to World War II by Douglas Blackmon, Blackmon. And then White Rage by Carol Anderson. The film 13th, which is on Netflix, is amazing. Very well done. And there's a PBS series called Race, the Power of an Illusion, which I think is stupendous. And it really shows how systems in this country were designed to benefit the white population specifically. So it really, and it's done really well. It's 3 one-hour segments. It's PBS, but you can't like buy a thing of it. You have to download it digitally, but the whole series is like $15, and it is excellent. I think if you watch that, you will have a better understanding of why people are in the streets now. Yeah.
Could you say the name of the series again?
Race, the Power of an Illusion.
Great. Yeah, I'm a reader as well. I really like Whistling Vivaldi. It talks about like implicit bias, and a young man talks about how when he was nervous walking down the street and seeing a white person, he would start whistling out of nervousness, and he noticed that when he was whistling classical music that they would also relax. And
oh, interesting.
Breaking that kind of stereotype of him as a black man. And it talks about like gender and sex and race. So it's really good as well. So if you're looking for a book. I want to thank you for coming and sharing. That was awesome. I don't see any more questions in the chat, but thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, this was wonderful. I'll come back anytime. Thank you.
Ron, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us this morning, and just so much to think about. So thank you. That leads us to the red to blue badge process. So Stephanie, don't know if you have anything you'd like to update us with, and if you got a chance to chat with anybody in the club.
Yeah. Sharon, thank you again for that great presentation. I feel like Humboldt is wanting to do the work, and I appreciate people like you being around to help with that. I didn't want to ask anyone during that presentation, so I squeezed in Brandon real quick before we started and found out that he is doing, or he's the chair of the Taste of Spring and co-chair of Taste of the Holidays, which is a tough job this year. So I'm going to try to put my thinking cap on with some of the other groups that I've seen do fundraisers virtually and see if I can help brainstorm a little bit on what the club can do to recover those fundraisers. So I encourage you all to put your thinking cap on too. You probably already are. But yeah, and then I signed up for the Oyster Fest if you're feeling comfortable. That'd be fun for other folks to do too. I know Steve has been putting so much hard work into it, and thank you, AJ, for connecting all of us. The sign-up process was pretty easy, so maybe I'll see some of you next Wednesday. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Stephanie. That leads us to the raffle. Nick, are you out there?
Yep, I'm here. Like Stephanie said, the pot is at $140 today. Let's see who's the winner. Ooh, Lori. If you are gonna get that. Nope, today $5, Lori. I'll send that to you to Venmo, and next time it will be $150.
Thank you, Nick.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's the top of the hour. Want to continue the folks to howl out there. I know it's a small thing to just think about, but now with that, we've been empowered some additional info. We could be take more action and look into joining NAACP or some of the events that are happening in our community to support what's going on out there. So thanks for joining this Friday, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.